Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer. This is my partner Mike. We together run Self-Aware. I am a designer. Mike is a designer and developer, amazing developer, and we're also joined by, on most days, our dog Greta. She couldn't be here today, unfortunately. She had some stuff to do. But yeah, going through. So, like I said, we do design and development. I think that's what kind of makes us a really special team to work with. And we kind of do everything in between as well. So, copywriting, illustration, photography, all that type of stuff. And we really work with a pretty wide variety of clients. So, these are some of the sites that we've worked on in the past, from a sandwich shop in Philadelphia called Middle Child to a mezcal brand, Rosa Luna, and then a hard seltzer brand also based in Philadelphia called Two Robbers. And then most recently, we worked with MIT and the programs in digital humanities. So we did their brand and made them a really nice website for that department. And we love using Sanity. So most of these are using Sanity. We're actually rebuilding the Middle Child site to totally be on Sanity, which is coming up soon. But today we're going to talk about Blueland. So Blueland is a D2C company. They're a revolutionary cleaning brand on a mission to end single-use plastic for good. And what they primarily do is they have these kind of like refillable cleaning products. So, you buy tablets and then you fill bottles up with water and you put those tablets in and then you have a whole bottle of cleaner. So not only is it better for the environment, but it's also space saving and it's just a really innovative product. And we were really excited when they came to us asking to kind of really overhaul their website. So they actually were on Shark Tank and they got a deal with Mr. Wonderful. As you can see here, he's like in a tub with all the tablets. And like to date, they've been able to divert almost 2 billion single-use plastic bottles from landfills and oceans. So with all this growth, their old site, which you can see here, like just wasn't really cutting it for them anymore. They had a traditional Shopify site and they were kind of using that Shopify editing experience, and it just wasn't the flexibility that they needed to, build new product details, build landing pages. They really wanted to do this all in-house and not need a development and designer team every single time they wanted to do something. So when they came to us, we thought that this could be a really good opportunity to use the powers of Sanity and build them a really flexible modular system. So kind of 3 of their main project goals going into this were build a scalable modular design system, allowing Blueland to create custom product detail pages and landing pages without a designer or developer, like I said. 2, they wanted to update the website visual design to reflect an evolving brand look and feel. So I think that's where, like our design and development combo really came in handy. It was updating that and building a system for them. And then 3, they wanted to create an elevated editorial authoring experience for Blueland's blog. So migrating all of their stuff from WordPress into Sanity and then also creating an editing experience there down the line. Cool. So I'm going to hand it over to Mike and he's going to talk more about what we did and how Sanity helped us get there.
Yeah. So to take over, one thing I wanted to mention before I dive into the specifics is a little bit about Blueland's offering and how it's kind of unconventional. So from a product perspective, they have these refill packs, and a big emphasis here is the bundle, the bulk savings. So like instead of just the typical quantity selector, which you see here, there's also this pack size option, which offers savings when you buy in bulk. And this is great because, logistically, if you're shipping a 9-pack once, that's lower environmental impact than shipping a 3-pack 3 different times. So it kind of goes hand in hand with their environmental goals. And then they also have like the scent selection for the hand soap refill packs. And for their kits, they have a one-time option where you get your bottles and tins, and then all of the initial refill tablets that you'd need. But they also have a subscription option, and this is powered by Recharge. And so we needed to, figure out a way to create a really flexible product detail page editing experience that would support all of the unique needs of each of these different types of product detail pages. So one thing that we've done here is offer option and option value level settings within Sanity. So you can associate a particular option value to some like additional content. So here we have subtitles associated to the pack size options, and those icons, which are custom illustrations, associated to each of the sent options. Additionally, there's the ability to swap out those sort of like choice chip options here that you see and use drop-down menus. So that's at the option level. And for the kits are very interesting, kind of from from a technical perspective, because you have that one-time product, but then you also have two other SKUs that power that subscription kit, which is the initial kit product, which is the bottles and tins, and then you have the refill bundle, which is that actual subscription product that's hooked up to Recharge. So we can actually take the one-time product detail page and then reference the initial kit product here, as well as the refill bundle, which is just below here off screen. And we also have a whole slew of other places to customize the text and really cater this to each individual kit. Another way that we've created this scalable system is through a system of content modules that can be composed throughout the site to create new pages, PDPs, etc. And this is just a preview of a lot of the modules that we designed. You can see that there's quite a few, and they all vary in layout, design, functionality. And diving into Sanity, you'll see that we're using an array field with custom previews for each one to kind of get a sense for what each one is going to consist of. The title of the module is here, and then the headline or some of the initial text within that module is used as the subtitle. And these all range from super generic like columns or something as simple as a divider line to very specific, like a what's in your kit module for specifically kit PDPs. And something that we were really excited to see after we launched the site was that they were able to release an entirely new category of products, all these cleaning companions. They were able to release this new category without getting in touch with us or without hiring a developer or a designer to redesign or add modules to their PDPs. And they were able to do this, in-house. So I think that's a testament to the flexibility and scalability of the system. So moving on to that visual design evolution and bringing that into the digital space, you might be wondering, how does this relate to a CMS like Sanity? And I think because we both have a design background here, something that we really strive for in our work is to create a system that is hard to misuse. So while we're striving for as much flexibility as possible within the editing experience, we also want to provide some healthy guardrails. And there's a variety of ways that we've done that. So the first one is these stylized headlines. This was a big part of the new kind of refresh look and feel. So this serif italic that you see here within the headline. And this is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of portable text. And I think this is a cool use case because it's so simple. We just restricted this portable text field to just this one option, which is to serif italic a specific chunk of text within a passage. And, it looks pretty close to what you see on the customer facing experience. And, we're giving healthy guardrails, like I said before, to ensure that the system isn't abused or misused over time. Another way that we've done that is through this idea of color styles. So kind of like memorializing their color palette as a document type in Sanity. And this can be a solid color or a a gradient using CSS gradients. And not only is this cool from like a, structured content perspective and how it could be used through the system, but also just from like a team communication perspective, like within Blueland's team, being able to establish names for their different colors over time, I think is a really powerful thing. And another cool thing is the way that these are used. So in addition to being used throughout all the modules that I showed you before to do different types of theming, we've added the ability to select a color style for the background of these product badge documents that can be used throughout the site. So we're able to actually use custom validation to check the contrast of the background against that text color in the badge, and then warn and prevent the user of the system to from publishing an inaccessible badge or an inaccessible color combination. And so we thought that this was a really cool feature because we're preventing an inaccessible color combination before this is even published, before it's even deployed, and it could potentially save a lot of time not having to like audit colors manually or audit colors with some kind of like accessibility auditing tool after the fact, and then having to go back and make that change. So I think there's a lot of potential here to think about how we can incorporate like accessibility into the CMS before you even publish. So yeah, moving on to our third goal, which was this blog migration. So yeah, so Blueland had their Shopify Plus storefront, and then they also had a WordPress blog, which was hosted at a subdomain. And in addition to kind of creating this content hub for all their products and landing pages, we also wanted to unify and bring that blog into the main experience. So we were able to migrate over 100 posts from WordPress into Sanity. And in doing so, it's really cool to, take that raw HTML output of a WordPress post and convert it into portable text, which is so much easier to work with. And harnessing that power, we're able to, add images inline and kind of replicate the functionality of WordPress, and also add things like a table module. Prior to this, Blueland's posts were using images of tables. So like just a rasterized JPEG of a table, and that's not accessible. It's also not super mobile friendly. So by creating this table module using I think it was like a community powered table input, like someone from the Sanity community made this, and it works great. And by doing so, we have this accessible table, written using actual table elements in HTML, and it's accessible and also a lot more responsive. And they can do a lot of, they can have, this is a small table, but bigger tables are able to be like scrolled horizontally and vertically to see all of the content. And for the blog homepage, previously, Blueland's homepage was just a chronological list of the posts, and we wanted to create something a little more dynamic, and they wanted to be able to feature articles in different ways and also kind of introduce a more robust system of tagging. So you'll see here that there's a big featured post and then 3 posts below, one from each of these pillar categories: the eco facts, our products, and behind the scenes. And in Sanity, we created this pretty powerful system where you have a collection of editorial modules, where you can see they're kind of being previewed here. We use CSS Grid to create these icons. So like literally just JSX in the list preview, like media property, and built these out with Grid, and it reflects the design of the module on the front end. And then diving into like that first module, the one I just showed before, you can pin an article here into what we're calling a slot, but then you can also have dynamic slots. And so either those are showing just the next article, like latest article, most recently published, or if you enable a filter, it could be the most recently published article within a specific filter or tag. And this is like a slot level filter. So this is like super granular, but then you could also filter the entire module to a particular tag. And so this is like a really powerful combination. You could leave all the slots empty and just filter to a particular combination to get the latest articles in a particular category. You could have all the articles pinned, it's really up to you. So yeah, so that's about all we have. There's definitely other things that we would love to show. You can see the site for yourself at blueland.com, and you can also follow myself, Jen, and then also our studio on Instagram. And I believe Cap is giving our Twitter handles. And then also we have our website if you want to check out our studio more, selfaware.studio.
And we also wrote kind of more in detail about this project on the Sanity project showcase. So definitely go check that out as well.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for us?
Amazing talk. I really enjoyed it. I have a couple questions. I know the one that's on everyone's mind. What is Greta's role on the team, and how could she be double booked for today? This is atrocious.
Yeah, so she's actually a product designer for us.
Product designer. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So we actually we're moving. We're in the process of moving into a new house, and she has some like stuff that
she's unpacking. So
okay, doing other duties for the team. I see.
Yeah.
So in the chat, there was a lot of love for Blueland and this whole project that you all did. As Carolina said in the chat, all of your designs are so cozy. They really are. You just they're so warm and cozy. You just want to hang out on the page. So fantastic job on the designs. I had a question. So you said you added validation so editors can't publish inaccessible colors. How was that to implement? That's an amazing thing as
sure.
well.
So actually using, I don't know if anyone's heard of Colorable. This guy, I think his name is Brent Jackson. I don't know much about him other than this tool, but it's actually like a module that you can use to check color combinations. So I could show some code.
Yeah, let me share your screen.
That's helpful. Cool. It's actually funny. This actually wasn't planned, but I have that up because I had a feeling it would be something we would look at. So Colorable is the module that I used. It's on NPM, and there's also a site that you can go to that is kind of like a UI for checking color contrast, and basically just have the text color, saved here as like a constant, and then we're returning that like custom validation here. And then we actually have, because it's a reference, we have to get that document. And so then I can get the color style. And this is the part that maybe I am not super proud of, but it seems to be working, which is the CSS Gradient String. Found, good old Stack Overflow, found a regex for parsing gradient strings. And now I can basically just pass all the colors into the Colorable utility, and then I get my result. And then I can basically map over all the different combinations of the array of colors that are provided, and then check if their accessibility is up to the AA level.
Amazing.
And if it is, then we are valid, and if not, then we can give that message here.
That's awesome. Yeah, thanks for showing us the code. That's always fun.
Totally.
Right on. There's a question in the chat from Karen. I'm curious if they did any content modeling for that blog example and how it looks.
Oh, so for the slots?
I think.
Yeah, let's see.
Should I share your screen again?
Yeah, I guess so. Let me see if I can find it. Oh. There we go. Should be in here. Oh, for the entire blog. I see. So so I guess the article is, there's a document for the article which kind of mimics WordPress's structure for the most part. One thing that we did was kind of merge the idea of categories and tags in WordPress into just tags, for kind of just simplicity. That was a desire from the Blueland team. But yeah, for the most part, this is really straightforward. I think we added this byline field. Yeah, and then also an article tag. Similarly, very simple, just a title and a slug. And then, like I was looking at before, this is the blog homepage with the slots. So there's a slew of other settings for that. Like there's like this little article quick nav at the top of the screen when you go to the blog homepage. And there's like that blog intro module. And then here's where you find those editorial modules. And actually this is great because this is a fun thing that I like about Sanity, which is the fact that it's literally JavaScript. So, this could be an object possibly, but because I wanted to change the length, like the amount of slots in each of these different modules, I actually just made like a little, you could call it like a little factory function. And so this is just a function that takes some options here and then returns like a different object that basically just had, I think the only difference being the name, title, icon, and then that slot count. And yeah, the slots array is here. So you kind of have the option of either a pinned article slot or where's the dynamic one? Oh, here we go. Or a dynamic article slot with like the filter options as a reference to an article tag. Yeah. And yeah, it was definitely an interesting, I think one of the most challenging parts of this was like kind of parsing the dynamic slots on the front end. That was interesting, to say the least.
Right on. Karen said, "I love seeing this." It's true. It's so fun to like see the behind the scenes and how you implemented certain things. You also did custom illustrations for your icons.
That's amazing. Oh, right. Yeah. I can. I don't know. Should I show that real quick?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's see. Where would that be? Oh, right. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. So I just have like some little like utilities here, I guess, just because they're so long. But yeah, this is like pretty ugly. I feel like I actually think this might be before I realized I could just import a CSS file. Like, kind of like using CSS modules like through Sanity. Or honestly, I don't know if this is like the right way to style things as a Sanity icon, but I'm literally doing inline styles throughout. But it's basically, grid with some weird options thrown in there to create. It's like I probably could have done this more easily with like SVG or something, but I had fun building them with grid.
It looks good.
So yeah, it's just divs and style tags,
right
style
on.
properties.
So if anyone has any other questions for Jennifer and Mike, definitely, I put in their Twitters for each of them and Self-Aware's Twitter in the chat. So if you have any other questions, reach out to them. Thank you so much. Fantastic talk. And it's so cool to see Sanity implemented in all these different ways, and especially all the design, the cozy design that you all do. It's great.
Yeah, I love that. We need that as a testimonial, I think. Cozy design.
Yeah, we've never gotten that one before.
Yeah, I love that.
It's in the Meetup channel. It'll be there for a while, so go check it out.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you around. Thanks, both of you.